Hey, it's Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to share the actual pricing for $10,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 53-year-old female. Now, first thing I recommend is go to our website. And on just about every page, we've got these free quoters. And you can just select what state you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states, by the way. You can select the coverage amount you want, put your birthday in there, put the rest of your info, click Get Quotes Now. It'll take you to a page that's going to provide you the best insurance companies that have the lowest pricing out there. And by doing that, you'll be able to avoid those policies that have those super low teaser rates that when you call them, it's always such a minuscule amount of coverage, they try upselling you. You'll also be able to avoid those plans with 2-year waiting periods where they will typically cost about 200% more than a first aid coverage plan. So yeah, be a smart shopper. And you can always call us at our toll-free number, 888-862-9456, and we can help you be that smart shopper. Get you pricing, help you answer any questions you have. But the first thing our 53-year-old female probably needs to do is ask herself, is $10,000 going to be enough for her final expense needs? Typically, that would be a burial or a cremation. So the average cost of a cremation right now in the United States is between $1,000 to $2,000. That's if you come home in a cardboard box or an urn. If you're going to have some sort of a service with your cremation, that's probably going to be $3,500 to $4,500. So for the cremation where you come home in a cardboard box or an urn, we typically recommend around $5,000 to $7,000 coverage. Now you might be saying, well, if the cremation's only $2,000, how come we're getting $5,000? Well, because you're 53 and you're probably hoping you make it to 63 and then 73 and maybe even 83 years old. And we know that prices are going to go up over time. So we just want to make sure that your plan is inflation proof for the future. Now, if you do die a little sooner, there's just going to be a little bit of extra money left over to take care of some of the other final expenses, maybe medical bills or credit card bills or something like that. Not a lot. We don't want you to go crazy and terribly overinsure, but it just provides some extra cushion there. If you're going to do the cremation with the ceremony, we'd probably recommend between $7,000 to $10,000 just to inflation proof your plan. Now, for a burial, the actual cost of a burial in this day and age is right around $10,000. So if you walk into a funeral home with a $10,000 check, they will probably get things done rather than let you walk out the door with that check and go down to one of their competitors down the road and give them the money. But just understand, it's not going to be a fancy funeral by any means, but they should be able to get the job done. Now, one thing we always recommend is first aid coverage or benefits. That's the only thing we help people with here at Funeral Funds of America. And we do not recommend those plans with 2-year waiting periods. Not at all. And we'll go over that in a moment here. But first aid coverage or benefits means that hypothetically, if your plan were approved and issued today and you died tomorrow, the insurance company would have to send that check for $10,000 or $15,000 or $20,000, whatever it is. But they'd have to pay. And that's the best coverage. It's got the lowest pricing. But a lot of people would say, well, I like that first aid coverage, but I know they ask health questions. I'm not in the best of health. To which we would say, you know, your health is our problem, not your problem, at least when it comes to this insurance. So what that means is we work with a bunch of different insurance companies. They all have different health questions. They all have different underwriting. And typically 90 to 95% of the time, we're getting people first aid coverage or benefits. Really, the only reason we wouldn't is if you had some really significant illness going on, like maybe a terminal illness where you're going to pass away in the next 12 months, or you had dementia, or you're on dialysis or in the hospital or in a nursing home. If that's the case, we'd probably recommend you out to a different insurance company, give you a referral. But one thing that seems to happen every week too is we get a call from someone and they say, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week and we don't have any money, and they didn't have any insurance, and other bodies at the funeral home, and the funeral director's not going to do anything until he gets paid. So we need to get this insurance right away so that we can get a check to the funeral home director to get this taken care of. And we have to let them know there's no insurance company in the United States that's going to issue a policy on somebody who's already dead down at the funeral home. So with that being said, you have to get this insurance before you die. And it's really terrible that this person who died did not get this taken care of sooner. They knew they were going to die. They probably thought they were going to get this insurance at some point. And, death just arrived sooner than they thought. And now their families are burdened both emotionally because they're just being put through all this torment trying to figure this out without any financial help. But they've got the financial burden because there's no insurance. So what a terrible legacy to leave behind, because typically what happens is families have to put this on their credit cards at 26% interest, and they will be paying on it for years. And from here on out, you will be remembered as the one who left this behind for other people to pay, and they're probably still paying it off on their credit cards. So don't be that person. Get this insurance. If you can't afford everything you need, just get what you can afford right now. You can always add more coverage later. Now, as I mentioned, we don't recommend those 2-year waiting period plans at all. So Colonial Penn, if you didn't know this, they run those $9.95 commercials all the time. But Colonial Penn, the $9.95 plan, is a 2-year waiting period plan. Yuckers, right? Yeah. And there's other companies out there too, like Mutual of Omaha, their United of Omaha line, AIG Gerber, a whole bunch of other different companies out there. And a lot of these companies have done an amazing job at convincing the American public that if you're over age 50, the only thing you qualify for is a plan with a 2-year waiting period, to which we say, I don't believe such nonsense, because we help people with first day coverage all day long. Don't fall for such nonsense. Now, our 53-year-old female probably watched that $9.95 commercial, and she's probably thinking, I'm only 53. I'm going to get a lot of coverage for $9.95. Probably thinking, for $9.95, I'm probably going to get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. You know what? I bet I can even get $50,000 for $9.95. And then our 53-year-old female calls up Colonial Penn or goes on their website like we have done for you. And they see that 53-year-old female for $9.95 worth of coverage, it's only going to pay out $1,845. So that may be enough to get you cremated in this day and age. But this plan's got a 2-year waiting period. It's not going to pay out in the first 2 years if you die of a health or medical reason. And that $1,845 is going to be worth less in 2 years than it is now. So you're already kind of starting to put yourself in a hole. And you wanted to be cremated, not buried. So, yeah, you got to watch that. There's a lot of people that would say that some of these companies, they offer these really low teaser rates. And they do that to get you to call in, not because they want to sell you that plan, because they want to sell you a more expensive plan, and they will upsell you. And I am not going to ever say that that's what Colonial Penn would do. But a lot of people would say that, and maybe you should formulate that own opinion yourself. Yeah. But we're looking at $10,000. We got to find coverage here. So they do it per unit. You can't get $10,000 worth of coverage for a 53-year-old female. Nope. Because they couldn't offer one unit for $9.95. So they offer it by the unit, not by the coverage amount. Let's see, is that going to be 6 units? Oh, nope, that's too much. That's 11. We can't have that. 5 units. See, that's the problem. This coverage gets kind of goofy. You can get 9 or 11, but you can't get 10. Let's go. We want at least 10. We're going to go up to 6. So, because 5 units is $9,225 and 6 units is $11,070. Evidently, that $70 is important for something. It's going to go for 2.5 roses. I have no idea for the flowers. But yeah. So let's take a look here, because this is a roughly, we're pricing out for 10, but they're giving 11 for 59. Let's run 10,000 over here. So $10,000 for a female age 53 is going to be $25. $25. This is level coverage, which means first day coverage. That's exactly what you want. but $25 for $10,000, or you could pay $60 for $11,000. So that's a lot of extra money. That's $35 more. So if we back out the 11 and took that down to 10, this would probably be about $50, or 55, I should say, roughly $55. So Colonial Penn here is roughly $60, for $11,000. Let's go check what first day coverage would cost. I bet we can save you some money. So we've got 11,000 or 10,000 here, female, age 53. Click get quotes now. And again, this is $60 for 11,000. We can actually get 10,000 for $25. So just, man, a living, that is so much less expensive. Colonial Penn is $35 more expensive. Now, I'll give you this. It's 11,000 versus 10,000. So let's give a little bit of grace. Instead of $35, let's say it's $30 a month. So, but again, you can't buy 10,000 through Colonial Penn. So should we do that? Well, let's just do $35. So $35 a month times 12 months is an extra $420 a year you're going to overspend on this policy. If our 53-year-old female lives to age 63, she will have overpaid around $4,200. If she lives 20 years, she'll overpay right around $8,400 on a $10,000 policy. Tell me if that makes sense or not. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I won't even let you tell me. It does not make sense. Why would you ever settle for a policy where they're going to overcharge you $35 every month, stock you with a 2-year waiting period? And again, that $35 is approximately, because you're actually getting $11,070, but you are still significantly overpaying. And we don't recommend that at all. So let's look at some other insurance companies here. 25, let's keep going. Like here's one, Lumico. We see them once in a while. They're level coverage. That's good. But they're basically $35 more. That's $10 more a month. Times 12 months is $120. Times 10 years, you're going to overpay $1,200. It's your hard-earned money. Spend it wisely. Why would you overpay $1,200? Keep that in your own pocket. That's some real good memories there that you could spend on yourself versus giving to an insurance company. Let's keep going. Oh, here's one, Lincoln Heritage. They're a fine company, I guess, but yeah, Uchi Mama, look at that pricing, $37. And it's level. It's first day coverage. But it's $37. That's more expensive. Why is that? Well, Lincoln Heritage, they've got a deal where when you pass away, they will call a few funeral homes, 2 or 3 funeral homes, supposedly get the lowest pricing, maybe do a couple other things. But they charge more for that. It's not free. No, they charge more for that. So this is roughly $38 versus $25. It's roughly $13 a month. 12 months, that's going to be roughly $156. If you keep this policy 10 years, our 53-year-old will be 63 years old. That's going to be right around $1,560 more that you will have overpaid. And a lot of people would say, for an insurance company to call 2 or 3 funeral homes and maybe do a couple other things that maybe only takes an hour or so, they would say that paying a company right around $1,560 is a pretty darn tootin' good payday. And we would tend to agree. We would rather you keep that money in your own pocket. So what we do is we recommend you go with a better price insurance company. And then we provide free of charge a funeral and estate planning guide. You can download that off our website. You print it out, and then you fill it out. And you just say who gets what and what goes where and what you want done after you're gone. And now your family, and then when you're done with that, just keep it with your insurance policy. And now when you pass away, your family goes to one place, and they're going to be protected both financially with the insurance policy, but also emotionally with the funeral and estate planning guide, because they won't have to guess about anything to do. They would just follow your instructions and do exactly what you said and execute your wishes. And they will know that they were doing everything as per your wishes, and you provided the funds to do everything. And what a wonderful gift to leave behind. What a wonderful legacy for your family to know that you not only loved and cared and protected them in life, but you also did that in death as well. And what a wonderful legacy and what a life well lived. So our website, funeralfunds.com, we've actually got a special quarter for our YouTube viewers, funeralfunds.com/YouTube. And you can get the best pricing and the lowest rates there. You can also call us at our toll-free number, 888-862-9456. And one of our agents can help you understand your options and get you rates. Now, if you've got an existing policy and you want to price shop it, see if you got the best deal or add coverage to it, we can help you out with that. If you're looking for a brand new policy or just simply have some health questions, we can help you out with that as well. But we look forward to the day we can actually help you get the most amount of coverage for the least amount of money. And until that day comes, we will just be waiting for the pleasure of helping you. But until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care, you have a nice day. Bye-bye.